Love, peace, and unity. These are the messages that Bob Marley conveyed through his music, as told in the new movie, One Love.
Well, alright, well, jamming.
My life is for people, that I can be beneficial to a people.
And I hope you like jamming too. Redemption songs.
When you write that?
All my life. No guns can stop this message. I want the world to change.
One Love tells the life story of Bob Marley, a musician whose music I have heard throughout my lifetime but never knew much about the man behind it. From the little I've heard about him, I had just thought he was a stoner from Jamaica who wrote some excellent reggae songs. I apologize for my ignorance to those who are huge fans of his. This movie was enlightening to me on several different levels. For instance, I didn't know he was biracial. I didn't realize his music moved a nation to where it shook the political infrastructure of Jamaica. And I didn't understand the dangerous and violent situation he was in when he left that country. His music is sprinkled throughout the film, but doesn't necessarily spend too much time showing you the development of every hit song. The film is less than 2 hours, and the creative process of each song may have been somewhat monotonous, showing the inspiration for each familiar tune. It does, however, show you all the pertinent aspects of his later years, with flashbacks from his childhood, meeting his wife, and getting his first record deal mixed in for a nice, well-portioned insight into what his life was like. At the beginning of the film, one of his sons, Ziggy Marley, gives a little intro to the story and lets you know that this movie has his approval. I'm not sure if the rest of the Marley family was happy with it, but honestly, I don't see why they wouldn't be unless some events weren't accurate. The only thing this story didn't touch on whatsoever was the fact that he was the father of 12 children.
Damn!
It never even mentioned how many kids he had at the end of his life. I had to look it up, and the only reason I did was because he was playing with a couple at the beginning of the movie, and then by the end he had a small sports team of kids around him calling him Papa. Other than a couple of scenes, you don't see the kids at all, which seems a little neglectful because 12 kids is nothing to dismiss. He seemed to be religious to a point, as one of his albums is named Exodus. And he appeared to know the Bible to an extent, but it doesn't focus on that too much. The man passed away from cancer at the age of 36, so to have 12 children by that age seems wild to me. But hey, whatever makes you love life. And he most certainly did. I completely understand the movie wants to focus on the music and the impact it had, and in many ways I appreciate that, because it was truly an education for me. I don't know if all that weed boosted his creative process, but by the end, I was even more pro-legalization than I was before. Maybe if the politicians in Jamaica at the time, or even in Washington today, smoked a little weed, it would chill them out a bit. Maybe make them hate people less. I've never tried marijuana in my life, believe it or not, but I have nothing against people who do it, and if it helps people relax and not be so angry all the time, they need to fast-track the legalization process stat, because we have too many people in the world that are way too aggressive and hostile. Kingsley Ben-Adir plays Bob Marley, and what a phenomenal job he does. I don't remember him in too many films I've seen in the past, but he stood out in this one for me. I looked him up on IMDb, and the fact that he played Malcolm X in Amazon's One Night in Miami and Barack Obama in The Comey Rules seems to me like Hollywood took notice of him long before I did. He was even in Barbie, in a smaller role as one of the Kens, which is commendable considering his talent and resume were already established at that point. Lashana Lynch plays Bob's wife, Rita Marley, and I immediately recognized her as the performance in The Woman King was memorable, to say the least. She gives heart to her role as Rita and establishes herself as the rock behind Marley's success, in my opinion. The story was informative and entertaining. I wouldn't say I loved the film, but it was definitely worth the watch. If you're a die-hard fan of Bob Marley, you might not learn anything new, but I don't doubt that you will love the time spent listening to many of his songs throughout the runtime. As for me, I have a better appreciation for the man, not only for his music, but for the reason behind it. If you find my reviews halfway decent, mediocre, or even wonderful, please like and subscribe. I'd like to fast track the success of this channel if possible. I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to each other out there.